Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Bear with me for 1 second, okay? Because we're having some technical difficulties, it looks like. So let me just hide this. And, okay, that's not going to work. So hold on 1 second. Okay, can you all see me? Let me just take this off. Delete overlay. Hold on. Oh, geez. Okay. So my face is not being shown right now. So good morning, everyone. Let me go out of the live and then come back in. So bear with me for 1 second. Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. Can you all see me and hear me? I'm so sorry about the technical difficulties here. So let me see if this, all right, this will work. Okay, we're here. Sorry, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to my live. And okay, so we powered through this. We got through this. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to my live today. So today we're going to be talking about remembering my dad, and God really put it in my heart to talk about my dad's life and to make a tribute to my father's life. So I decided to go live here on Facebook. So I'm also live on Instagram. Let's turn the camera around and let's make sure that we are live on all social media platforms. So right now we are live on my Facebook page. We are live on Instagram at Angeline_Constantinu, and we are also live on my YouTube channel. So if you are watching this live right now, please hashtag live in the comments and let me know where you are tuning in from. And if you are going to be watching the replay, please hashtag replay. So needless to say, I'm going to make my best effort to get through this podcast episode because, as you all know on Facebook, and I want to thank each and every one of you for your prayers and condolences to my family during this difficult time, because my dad lived a very good life. He was 91 years of age, and he lived a very good life. He had some health complications the last few years, and God just said, that's it. My dad lived a very good life. So in today's live, we're going to be talking about remembering Dad and how he made a huge impact in my life. So what I'm going to do is this. I am going to, like most of my podcast episodes, this is the 5th year of Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. This is episode 157. And I'm proud to say that, people who are in podcasting, a lot of them do not make it beyond the 2nd year. So I'm very proud of myself for recording this podcast, being consistent with my podcast for 5 years, because my podcast is all about empowering women. And it began from a vision and a dream that I had 2 months before COVID hit. So if you are a woman who is afraid to speak out and share your story about domestic violence, then this podcast is for you. So actually, out of my pain was born my passion for inspiring, educating, and helping women just like you who are ready to live their authentic lives free from fear and despair. So please support my podcast. Please go to Spotify, subscribe. Spotify for creators. I am also on Apple Podcasts and Google, Apple, and all the other live streams you listen to. We are also live on my YouTube channel, so please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Let's Break the Silence with Angeline, okay? And if you would like to subscribe to my newsletter and receive resources that will equip and empower you on your healing journey, please go to my website, which is letsbreakthesilence.com. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about remembering dad, okay? So get your cup of coffee ready. I got my cup of coffee right here. So what prompted me to do this podcast episode? So what prompted me to do this podcast episode? I had a conversation with a woman friend of mine. I think this goes back to May, and we were talking about, my podcast and my vision and everything. And we were actually talking about my parents. So my parents were entrepreneurs, and my life was influenced by my parents, who are Greek and who emigrated from Greece to New York. And I feel in my heart that my parents set a path for me, meeting on a path of entrepreneurship and empowerment. And I recall that I wrote something yesterday which really, really touched my heart. And I've been doing a lot of self-reflection, and I'm doing a lot of, self-reflection because, this is a tough time of year. And my parents were entrepreneurs. They came here to the U.S. because they wanted a better life for themselves. And my dad served in the Army in 1958. And, my mom and dad had a vision that they wanted to open up a luncheonette and candy store in Owatonna, Minnesota. And I am proud to say that I worked in my parents' business during my high school years. So I worked in the business during my high school years. And actually, I started out as a dishwasher. I was washing dishes because I was only 13 years old, and I wasn't in a position to do waitressing. But I actually grew up in the restaurant business. I grew up in a family business, and I'm very proud of that because that experience that I had molded me into who I am today. And I'm very proud of that. I am, very, very proud of my parents, and I'm especially proud of my dad because dad holds a special place in my heart. And when my parents ran the candy business, and it was just amazing. I met so many people. I remember waitressing, and then I remember going to college. And when I would, come back home from college on the weekend, I would be helping my parents wrap candies. And, so I've been, raised to work. I have been raised to work. And actually a little bit about my dad, which I did, that some of you may not know, but let me just say this. My dad was born on May 10th in 1933 in Nyanta, Laconia, Greece. So that is in southern Greece. And I have a brother, and my dad immigrated to the United States in 1955. And my dad was united in holy matrimony in the Greek Orthodox faith to the late Mary Busalis, my mom, in Sparta, Wisconsin. So they got married in 1960. So my parents made their home in Owatonna, Minnesota, while raising two children, myself and my brother. And actually, my parents owned Costa's Candies and Restaurant in downtown Owatonna virtually their entire working life. contributing as the primary. My dad was like known for the primary candy maker and food purveyor. And my dad was also a devout Greek Orthodox Christian and faithful contributor to Holy Anagony Greek Orthodox Church, belonging and contributing to the American Hellenic Educational Progressive Association. That is called a HEPA. So that's just like the abbreviated version of a HEPA. So my parents loved to travel. They would visit Greece, including remodeling and enjoying my dad's ancestral home in Yata, Greece, where the house still stands today. And my dad was also a member of St. Mary's Greek Orthodox Church in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So, my parents did a lot. My parents did so much for my brother and I. I mean, they devoted their whole lives to us. They sacrificed, meaning, they did so much. And, so the reason why I'm doing this live is this. Like I said, I did a lot of self-reflection, and I wrote a letter actually, which I did have bookmarked here in this book, but my childhood, was filled with love. And so my childhood was filled with love, and from both of my parents. It was filled with love from both of my parents. And, I feel so grateful for that. I feel so grateful for all the love and abundance that I received from my parents. And I can say this, unfortunately, some people have been raised in difficult times. I mean, there are people, even, high influencers who I know, who came from humble beginnings. And actually, I came from humble beginnings, but some of them did not have a good childhood. And so I've been blessed with with an excellent childhood. And I feel very, very, very grateful for that. So I'm trying to find a letter right now that I wrote to my mom and dad, because I do want to, this is part of the shadow work that I do in my coaching program as well. But I want to share something. You know what? I don't need to read it. So anyways, so regarding my dad was a great man. He had a big heart of gold. He sacrificed for his family, but he also gave a lot to organizations. He gave so much to the community. I mean, I am reading letters and testimonials that I've received already from people. He made a huge impact in the community where I grew up. And, not only would he make candies, he would make candies. I mean, they worked through holidays. I mean, you have no idea. A lot of people don't have a clue what hard work is like. I mean, to actually make candy and also to deliver it, and also, especially during the holidays, because Christmas was the busiest season of the year. And let me just see who's here. Hi, Gabriel. How are you? Sorry to hear. Oh, thank you so much. And I appreciate all the outpouring of prayers, because, it just means the world to me. And, my dad and mom made a huge impact in the community. A lot of people don't, I found the letter. Okay. So, a lot of people, were brought up in tough times, or they didn't have a father. I mean, my dad was very, very special to me. And like I said, my dad made a huge impact in the community. So I have a question to ask you, since I am recording this podcast. How was your relationship to your parents like during your teenage years? I would love to know in the comments. So let me know in the comments. Okay. I'm curious, because like I said, I know that a lot of people, it's a tough time of year for a lot of people. And And I know for me, my relationship with my dad was good. There were some ups and downs, and guess what? You're going to have ups and downs in relationships, in any type of relationship. So my parents, so I'm going to read the letter that I wrote to myself. Okay, my dad loved me. My dad is my hero. And I wrote this the day after Christmas, and I am so happy and grateful that I was able to say goodbye to my dad on Christmas Day. That was really hard. And I remember a good friend of the family called me on Christmas morning, and I was here in my apartment. I was getting ready to go out and spend the day with a friend of mine. I mean, this was not planned, obviously. This just happened just like that. So what happened was my dad fell last weekend, and while he did not break anything, he was rushed to the hospital. And my dad suffered from dementia. And this is one of the silent battles that I have fought this year. And I'm going to be really real and raw with you on this, with all of you, that this was a very tough year for me. It was a year of transition. It's a year of awakening. But at the same time, it was also at the end a year of sorrow, because my dad went to go live with the Lord on Christmas Day at 2 p.m. Central Time. And so my friends called me in the morning. It was about 11 o'clock, and they offered prayers of encouragement and strength. And the last words that I said to my dad through my brother, because I called my brother's cell phone, and I said, please put the phone to my dad's ear. And I said to my dad, these were my last words. Bye, Dad. Merry Christmas. I love you. Those are the exact words that I said to my father. And shortly thereafter, I got off the phone with my brother. And then I learned later on, when I came back from dinner, that my dad had gone to heaven. It was a homecoming for my dad to be with my mom in heaven on Christmas Day. So it was a very tough day, to say the least. While we celebrated the birth of our Lord and Savior, at the same time, this represented a homecoming for my dad, to be with my mom and the family. The first generation of our family, there's only one surviving sister that for my dad's sister lives in Greece. And I actually pray that she can fly to Minnesota to attend my dad's wake and celebration of life. But if that doesn't happen, obviously, we as a family understand. So I want to read a Bible verse also, and I'm going to read it, okay? I'm going to read it from this book. And do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And that comes from Philippians chapter 4, verse 6. And I can tell you this, that Bible verse really resonates with me. And because, we're not here on earth to be anxious about anything. Give it all to God. So when I learned what happened, with my dad, I gave it all to God. I decided to give everything to God. I said, it is all in God's hands. I went to church on Christmas Eve here, and I prayed, I was offered prayer to from the pastor, and I'm fairly new here in Stuart, Florida. But I was offered prayer, but we lit a candle, like everyone, like that's part of the Christmas Eve service anyway. So, I was just praying, and then, praying and meditating, praying that my dad would no longer suffer through this ordeal that he went through for the last 3 or 4 years. So my dad loved me. My dad is my hero. My dad served the community and made a huge impact in my life and our family. And my dad had the vision to start a luncheonette and candy business. They had the vision. And knowing that my dad is in heaven, rejoicing amongst the angels and celebrating with my mom, that gives me peace. It gives me a lot of peace because my dad is no longer suffering. I mean, I have no words to describe how I feel right now, because, grieving is a process. There's ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. And I had God put it in my heart to go live this morning. It's the last Monday of 2024. And you know what I have realized? I have realized that it is time to take my life to the next level. And not that I don't sit around, but there's no time for that. No time for that. And the second thing that I am grateful for is I am grateful, and we should all be grateful, okay? When you wake up in the morning and you put 2 feet on the ground and you take your first breath, that is something to be grateful for. I can tell you that right now. My dad's breath was shallow on Christmas Day, and he took a turn for the worse. And when I first talked to my brother about my dad's condition, he said, well, there is probably my dad will need to go to an assisted living facility. So, no one thought that my dad was going to heaven on Christmas Day. But guess what? Just God had another plan. Oh, here, my sister is here. Thank you so much, Princess Baptiste Maloney. Thank you. Right. Grateful that we are. Exactly. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know that you're overseas right now traveling, but thank you for taking the time to stop by. And I can tell you this, on Facebook, when I put the post out that I said my final goodbyes to my dad, my post went viral in a half an hour. I couldn't believe it. I mean, for people to take the time on Christmas Day to offer their prayers and condolences to our family during this difficult time, it really, really, really touched my heart. It really, really touched my heart. Not only that, but I was just crying. It was just like, it was a day, boy, I'm telling you, it was just a day that I will never forget. Christmas Day will be a day that I will never forget. And God put it in my heart to record the final episode of 2024, which I normally do every year. And I decided to talk about my dad, remembering my dad. So needless to say, this year has been a year of an awakening, transition. It's been a year of also sorrow, but guess what? And also a year of fighting silent battles. I can't talk, I'm sorry, but it's a year of fighting silent battles. But guess what? These battles that we go through, these, what we're going through now, what I am going through now is going to push me into the next level. And the same thing goes for you. So if some of you, are feeling lonely, sad right now at this time of year, just know that you are not alone. You are never alone. We are here to support and encourage each other. And oh, thank you, sis. Thank you so much. And thank you for being a staunch supporter of my podcast and my vision. And so, God put it in my heart to go live today. And, it's not easy for some people to go live and talk about your dad, but, I'm going to be, I've been doing this is a year of self-reflection. I mean, this is what 2024 is. And God is deconstructing me into the person that I am meant to be, the new Angeline 2.1, forget 2.0. Angeline 2.1 is launching next year as of January. So, I'm going to be starting off the new year by flying to Minnesota on January 1st. And I'm blessed because I have a driver who will take me to the airport. And then the celebration of life will be on Saturday, January 4th at the Greek Orthodox Church in Rochester, Minnesota. And the wake will be on Friday. And all the details are posted in the obituary, which I posted the other day. So if you would like to come pay your respects, I am glad. My brother and I would be honored. So, let me see. Gabrielle says, I had a great relationship with my dad. He was my hero. He died 26 years ago. I still remember it as it was today. I miss him so much. I lost my mom. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about your mom 5 years ago. My heart is still broken, but I do know that they are watching over me and my kids and my family. Those are beautiful words, Gabrielle. And I can tell you this. I lost my mom 6 years ago in February from cancer. And my dad literally, my dad took care of my mom 24/7. And yes, our hearts are broken. Yes. Right now, the way I feel right now, I'm just going to be raw and real with you all that, this is a process. Grieving is a process. I have ups and downs. Like on Christmas, the day after Christmas, when I woke up in the morning, I woke up with a heavy heart and I was crying, and while I was meditating, I was crying, but that was a release. So I can totally relate to what you are talking about, Gabrielle. Yeah, I had a great relationship with my dad too. My dad was my hero and my dad was my best friend. And I miss my dad a lot. I miss my parents a lot, especially during holidays. And, next year will be the first holiday that my, Father's Day, and my dad's birthday. My dad was born on May 10th, 1933. So, I miss calling my dad. I miss talking about my dad. Loved to talk about football. He loved to talk about football, but he just gave so much to the community. My dad was a giver. And my dad was involved in organizations, and he was very, very active in the church community. And he was also active in the community where I was born and raised, went to high school, graduated high school in 1982. And I moved to New York in 1985, and my dad supported me. My mom too. My mom didn't want me to leave, but you know what it is? It was just like when you're in your 20s, you want to leave and just explore the world, but that's just normal, So what I'm going to do is this. I am going to, I just want to express my heartfelt gratitude of the love and support from so many people, especially in the community. And I am going to be in Minnesota on Wednesday, and I will be flying back to Florida on my birthday, which is January 5th. So, it's going to be a year of rebirth. It's going to be a year. 2025 is going to be a year that I am rising up from the ashes. I'm literally going to be rising up from the ashes. And, I'm grateful. I just feel so happy and grateful that I can, I'm happy and grateful that I can make an impact on your lives. And you all have a voice, including men. Men and women, you all have a voice, and share your stories. Don't be ashamed to share your story with the world, okay? Because your story is going to have a huge impact on the community. It's going to have a huge, because we have, we are blessed with social media. I mean, I'm on Facebook is my main platform, and then I have Instagram, and then I have YouTube. And on YouTube, I'm blessed because I have over 950 subscribers. So I am closing in to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. But as far as TikTok goes, I do have a TikTok channel. It's all on my website. You can check out all my social media platforms. And also, I am going to be launching something new in 2025. It's going to be an ebook. And actually, I'm going to be talking about building resilience, what the next chapter of your life looks like. So that is going to be launched in January, and I'm going to work very hard to get this done next week, because I am going to be speaking at a virtual summit for women on January 9th at 9:30 a.m. And I am going to show up because that's what my dad would want me to do. My parents are right now watching over me while I'm going live here. And they would want me to do it. They would want me to do it. I know it. There's a lot of work that has to be done right now. So I am going to make my best effort, and I have already manifested this. I have already prayed about it. And for myself, speaking of goals for 2025, I'm being more intentional about my goals. So I am going to be focusing more on, guess what? Do it now. Do it now. We have no time to waste, people. There is no time to waste. The pity party is over. It is time for us to step into greatness and to step into the life that we deserve to live. So if you are encouraged by this live today, please share it out with friends. Please share it out in a Facebook group. Please share it out with people who need to hear this message. Okay? And I am going to close this live right now. And Dad, I love you. I will always love you. And until we meet again. So everyone, have a great day. I love you all. Thank you for the prayers. Thank you for praying for my family. And just thank you for everything that you do here. Thank you just for the outpouring of love. Words cannot describe how I feel right now. So, and I knew my voice was going to crack. And guess what? That's okay. Because I pride myself on being real and authentic. Authenticity is huge. Authenticity is huge. And that's what I pride myself on. And that's it. So I want to wish you all an amazing day. I love you all. And I will see you soon. Okay. And also, this podcast recording will be uploaded on my Spotify and my Spotify channel, which is Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. So it will be uploaded sometime today. It will be released today because that's what my dad would want me to do. So we're going to close out 2024, episode 157, the 5th season of Let's Break the Silence with Angeline. And watch out. Next year is going to be an amazing year. It's going to be a year of growth and a year of, and what I will say is this, that we are all destined for greatness. Hi, Nadia. Hi, Nadia. Thank you so much. Hi, good morning. And Gabriel, yes, thank you, Gabriel. You spoke to my heart today. You really, really did. I know it's hard. It's even hard going live. Life is hard. It is hard to go live, everyone. It is hard to go live. It is hard to share your story. It is hard, but guess what? You got to choose your heart and this year has taught me so many things, but especially the last couple of weeks, the last week, we are destined for greatness. We deserve to live our happiest lives ever. Yes, we may still feel broken because of loss, and loss is very hard. Loss is very, very hard. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Nadia. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. And so do you. And I'm so glad that we've talked. And I'm so glad that I'm so happy and grateful that we connected. And I'm so grateful that you were on my podcast this year. Nadia Brave Zone, join her Brave Zone community. She's amazing. So this is a season, we're entering into a new season of growth, wealth, abundance, and opportunities. And my intention is to build my legacy with my company. So if you would like to reach out to me, what I would do is just send me a direct message on Facebook or Instagram, and let's get on a call together, okay? Because I want you to break free from the past and break free from those self-limiting beliefs that have been holding you back for way, way too long. Let's get on a call, okay? Thank you for the hearts, Gabriel. Thank you. Thank you. And I am going to be live here more often on, I'll be here on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And especially, YouTube. YouTube is a great platform. I love YouTube. But here on Facebook, I have built a great community, and it's going to grow. It really is going to grow. So share this live out with a friend. Share this live out with a person who needs to hear this message, because if you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, if you are experiencing pain and sorrow, I can totally relate to what you are going through right now. But I'm going to end the live right now. Thank you so much. I love you all. Blessings and love. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. And be on the lookout for this podcast episode, which will be uploaded on my Spotify. And it will be uploaded later today. Share it out. And you will see some highlights from this live today as well. So I hope I inspired you, and I want to wish you an amazing day filled with love and abundance. Bye for now, and thank you all.